teams have been working diligently to resolve the issue and restore normal transmission. While substantial progress has been made, the process has taken longer than initially anticipated due to the complexity of the fault. We assure our valued viewers and partners that full restoration remains our top priority and every necessary measure is being taken to ensure a stable and reliable signal across all affected platforms. In the meantime, we kindly advise viewers to rescan their TV sets to access the available channels. This will ensure that you can view the channels that are currently broadcasting without interruption. UBC sincerely apologizes for the inconvenience this disruption has caused and appreciates the continued patience and understanding of our audiences as we finalize the recovery process. Further updates will be provided through our official communication channels as progress continues. For additional information, please contact Public Relations Office, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, UBC. Email info@ubc.go.ug or +256 703 826 623.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight? Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
General, to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda. Welcome back from JMU Business with Joan. It's time for the agenda. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and it's the month of November, so why not talk about things that we have seen impact November thus far. Now, at the end of October, start of November, we saw rains that ended up damaging a lot of property and of course having lives lost in there. November is a month that is known for grasshoppers and rain, but never like before this year have we seen November become a scare for many. Taking a look at downtown Kampala, where a lot of property, business property, was destroyed because of rain that fell at the end of October, start of November, destroying many businesses. And not just destruction, but distraction, intense distraction, where right now as we speak, many business people in the CBD who operate in the CBD do not know where to start from, as these are their livelihoods. But also looking at eastern Uganda in the Sabay region, where lives were lost. And not only Uganda, by the way, was affected, Kenya too got affected by these landslides. And it's at that point where we want to know what the role of an individual, a citizen, is in protecting and ensuring that the environment is clean. 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number that you should engage and be part of this conversation. We are having it with Francis Sabino Ogwal, who is the Senior Manager, Environment Planning and Coordination at the National Environment Management Authority. Good morning, Francis.
Good morning, viewers.
Yes, pleasure having you this morning.
Thank you. Right,
let's start off with the importance of the environment.
Yeah, maybe let me try to also define the environment.
Right.
Because when you're talking environment, what would one think environment is? Mm-hmm. Environment has three elements. You're talking about the physical factors, you're talking about the biological factors, and the social factors. Those are the three elements of what constitutes the environment. But when you talk about the physical factor, you're talking about land, water, the air, the sound, etc. That is the physical part of the environment, that space that is surrounding us. The biological one, you're talking about the plants and the animals that are in there. So this space, the way God created it, those two elements are there. Then the human being now, the social well-being of the human being, the interaction.
I almost thought the humans were part of the animals.
Well, for us, we are part of it, but I think we influence the environment more than the other animals.
Yes.
And therefore, we would have tended to give us that other angle to it. So those are the three elements of the environment. But why should we be talking about the environment? It is because God first created everything else, and human beings came last. Meaning, for us to survive, all the goods, all the services that you need as an individual, even our cultures, they are based on what is in the environment. The food you're going to eat, the air, the clean water, name it, medicine, all that comes from the environment. Even the construction materials, by the way. In the villages, when you go there, and even here in the urban centers, don't you see, say you are going to roof, you are going to ask for what? Timber, this
sticks,
and that.
Yes.
But in the villages, people you want to thatch the house, you poles. Everything the human being needs comes from the environment. The culture. Haven't you seen some people shooting themselves with certain animals? So, you know, they identify themselves like that with it. So the environment defines us. It underpins our well-being. So we have to take that first and foremost, that with the environment being there and in a good state, we are able to live a meaningful and enjoyable life. But when the environment now gets polluted, degraded, and things like that, that means also our lives are affected.
Right.
So now I would also like to touch just roughly, briefly, on the mandate of NEMA.
Yes, indeed, it's where I was going for us to briefly understand the mandate of NEMA, especially in relation to what we are talking about this morning.
Yes, before NEMA came to existence in 1995, 1994, and you know, downwards there, the environment management was being done in different sectors. You would have forest department, you have fisheries, you have people in, you know, maybe in agriculture. So this environment management was scattered. And then it was realized that we needed one coordinating body to oversee all these functions. because all those efforts are not resulted into what we want. And after lengthy discussion, the country then adopted that, well, let's have this law, the National Environment Statute 1995, which is now the National Environment Act Cap 181, that there shall be this one body that will oversee all the other activities on environment. So NEMA has got basically 4 functions. One, or mandate 4, to regulate all activities in the area of environment, to monitor, to coordinate, and to supervise. So those 4 really is what NEMA has been created to do. Now, when you look at that, regulating, coordinating, supervising, it means that their other day-to-day management of the environment rests with the different government agencies. The law calls them lead agencies, but also local governments. And so that is where the environment management gets decentralized to the different government entities. So that is what I would like us to appreciate. When people see things going wrong, they say, this is going wrong. NEMA is not doing this. Really, managing the environment is a responsibility of the urban authorities, the local governments.
Right. We're having this morning a conversation on the role of the citizen in enhancing a clean and productive environment. And of course, we're having it with none other than the National Environment Management Authority, as represented by Francis Sabino Ogwal, who is the Senior Manager, Environment Planning and Coordination. Want to know your role and what wrong you've been doing. You're just surviving the law, but the day the law will land on you, it won't be good news. You will dance to the tune, and the dance moves won't be as enjoyable. So 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number that you should engage and be part of this conversation. So Francis, let's now look at the law. What exactly does the law say? As we all know that the law does not understand ignorance.
Yes.
For as long as you've broken it, even out of ignorance, you are held accountable. So let's understand what exactly the law says.
Yes, and I want to confine myself on this talk show to the individual.
Okay.
The individual. Because everything bad and good you see happening on the environment starts with the individual. If we even want to move to have a sustainable future that we all crave for, the environment that is clean, healthy, and productive, all that will depend on the individual, because a lot of things happen in the environment and you'll see somebody doing something on the environment. So let me first start with the Constitution. I'll point out some few articles there. And then I'll go to the Environment Act, Cap 181, so that people get to know what those laws say.
Right.
Now, I have the Constitution, and you will allow me just to read some of them, but not the entire text. This is Article 39 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. It says, every Ugandan has a right to a clean and healthy environment. You have a right to a clean
and a healthy environment.
Now, what some people do when they hear that, they say, okay, because I have this right to a clean, healthy environment, NEMA is not doing their part, I'm suing you, I'm taking you to court. But where there is a right, there is a responsibility. Now, let's look at Article 17 of the Constitution. 17, you look at 17, 1J. 17.1 says, it is the duty of every citizen of Uganda, and it lists a lot of other functions here of the duties of the citizen of Uganda. J, to create and protect a clean and healthy environment. You see how it has now talked to Article 39. So you cannot just shout about you having a right to a clean, healthy environment. The same Constitution has now said you have the duty to create and protect a clean and healthy environment. So every time people are saying this is going wrong, ask yourself, what are you doing as the Constitution requires? Now, let me then go to the Environment Act, because the Constitution as it is, these provisions here has to be, you use the environment, including the duty to prevent pollution. To prevent pollution. You see that? That's why I was saying that the individual is at the center of most of these things we're talking about. But sometimes people think they cannot take somebody who is doing at individual level, that you cannot take somebody who is doing something bad to the environment to court. No. Section 33, this section 3.3 says that if you see that somebody is doing something bad on the environment, you are actually empowered to file a civil suit against the person whose act or omission has or is likely to cause harm to human health or the environment. So even at individual level, if you have seen something going wrong, because NEMA cannot be in every space in this country. You can't be everywhere.
So now, this is where the conundrum or the paradox of the law is. There are those who are very active and willing and have the heart to protect the environment. Yet when they report to the law that's supposed to handle these issues, the law could also now change the face and either ask for money or stretch what could have been as simple as I've reported, go take action. That someone is constructing, starting digging a foundation in a swamp, take action. And of course now there's the idea or the wrong idea of corruption in there.
Yeah.
So where are we failing? Where is the law failing?
Now for me, first thing first, if the person has reported that they have seen dumping in a wetland somewhere in some place, as NEMA we shall definitely deploy the personnel there.
So do we report to police or to NEMA?
You can report to police, you can report to NEMA, because sometimes it is the most immediate thing you can do, in my view, is to report to NEMA. Call, we have numbers, you can call, report to NEMA. We will then liaise with the police, because sometimes there can be lack of coordination here and there. But I think we have also the environment office, depending where the person is. If it is like Kampala City Authority like this, there's also environment department within Kampala City Authority. And the district also, they have the district environment office. So you can start from there before you come to me. But you can also call us if you think you more or less have a lot of faith having your case go the other side. So we will do our part when we receive such. But let me first get to the other provisions of the Act concerning the individual. There are just 3 of them, then we shall go to the discussion of what the individual do. Let me go to Section 96. Section 96 of the Act, because this is another very interesting one. This is the duty to manage waste. You know, every time we are doing a certain activity, we generate waste.
That's true.
Human activity and the waste are like the north and the south.
Yes,
they go hand.
relationship.
The relationship is there. Unless you're going to stop carrying out any activity, then you may as well stop generating waste. That means you may not be living.
Death.
You are no longer a living thing. A human. So a person who generates or handle waste shall be responsible for it. If you generate waste, Section 96 of the Act says, Environment Act says, you are responsible to manage it. Then let me look at Section 97. This is about littering. Section 97, subsection 1 says littering is prohibited. How many times have you seen people throwing whatever was in their hands? I told you, he has finished, maybe he bought some drinking water, mineral water, but after that,
swings it out of
the car or what have you.
There are those that actually even dump in these public service means, transport means.
Yes.
They'll dump in that vehicle.
Now, if it is dumped there in the vehicle, then the responsibility will be, which you are almost touching the section I was going to say, the responsibility will be on the owner of the vehicle to ensure that that waste is properly disposed of. But actually what those people in the vehicle should do is what I'm going to read. You should create, put some kind of simple system or mechanism there where people can put the rubbish in. So Section 97, subsection 3 says, a person driving a vehicle is responsible for the sanitary condition of the vehicle and for the waste generated.
You're steward leading.
This is why I said The individual is at the heart of everything. We think about the environment. So when you are in your car, in a public vehicle, we should see that they have put for us some container there where we throw this rubbish. You see, when we go into other countries, we always keep saying, oh, this country X is like this country like...
And blaming the government.
And blaming, surely you go in those countries and you see the level of discipline that people have. It is why the environment is as clean as you see it. Then the other one says, Section 97.4 says, a person shall not place, deposit, or allow any waste to be placed or deposited in his or her property, but also along the public street, roadside, in a ditch, river, stream, pond. What do you see happening in Uganda?
Exactly that.
The opposite of this.
The opposite, yes.
And then we are busy saying, you know, the environment, this number of people, Kampala City Authority is doing nothing. I've seen some people when they are sweeping the street, they are struggling very hard to take everything in that drainage channel.
Yes.
One time I saw a young man, he was, after he was sweeping and there was an empty mineral water bottle, I think Coca-Cola one, or there was just a mineral water bottle there. He was pressing it to try to put it there because there was some kind of mesh. But he was struggling because the mesh was constraining him from pushing down there. So even if we shall have the biggest drainage system and we continue clogging it like that, water will come on the surface. So the individual, the law is there. Now, if you don't do this, and then I will now go to the role of the individual, the duties, I mean, so what certain things the individual should do. What is the penalty like? It says, if you don't do those sections I've read for you, the penalty is a fine not exceeding 550 currency points. 550 currency points. Now, one currency point is 20,000 shillings. Multiply that. It is 11 million. Now, you tell me, if we were to get on the street there and begin arresting all the people that you see throwing, doing this, people throwing from the cars, they will begin saying, we are targeting the what? The poor, isn't it? But that is what the law says. Why should a poor person then throw rubbish? Do you have this money or not? This money is not meant to be given in the way I look at it. It is a deterrent. But if you don't throw rubbish, we will come to you and say, you, because you are not littering the environment, we are going to make you pay. No. So this is, I wanted people to I wanted to bring that perspective of the law, people to see that every time you are saying things are going wrong in the environment and thinking that you are free, you don't have a role to play, that the law is very clear. The law is so clear on what the individual needs to do.
Right.
And for the most part, we are not doing it.
Good morning, UBC. What does Francis have to say about the Nachivubo Channel development by Hamis Chigundu that has caused a lot of floods in downtown Kampala? Please do not shy away from this matter. This is Philip in Lira.
Oh, yes. So thank you very much, Philip. First of all, I think globally right now, as I speak, globally, due to climate change, there has just been a lot of flooding. It's not only happening in Uganda, it is happening everywhere, globally, right now. Climate change is something that the scientists kept talking about it many years ago.
Yes.
Now we are beginning to live with it.
To see if its effects, yes.
And all these things we are seeing in places like Kapchorwa, in other parts of the country, more rains now, you've said it in the beginning than before. So this flooding, the climate change has come, and we are going now to try to adapt to it as individuals. So it is a coincidence that as the construction of Nachivubo Channel started, then you have a lot of this rain that is also happening now globally. But I think KCCA and the other authorities, they are doing their best to make sure that that problem is handled. And I think it might be a temporary problem. Definitely when all is done, we should have that problem of the flooding sorted. But it has been that coincidence.
Right.
Yeah. Now I wanted to touch what should the individual now do?
Yes. In fact, my next question was, how is now NEMA encouraging public participation.
Now, having brought into perspective some of those legal requirements that the law places on the individual, what could we as individuals do to make sure that the environment we are living in is what all of us can be comfortable with? One, do not litter. Stop throwing rubbish like, you know, you don't care what happens with it. You are walking on the street, you throw whatever you see now as a waste anywhere. Please, even if in your car, keep that rubbish there until you can reach somewhere where it is properly disposed of. At home, let's properly have systems that can collect for us the waste that we generate. So first thing, do not litter. Because I have to tell listeners that when you see somebody putting some waste in the environment, it doesn't mean that that problem is not going to catch up with you. It will eventually catch up with you. If you see somebody polluting the environment, because I've told you the food, the water, and everything else that we survive on as human beings come from the environment. So eventually you might eat food which is contaminated. For example, you might say, okay, I want greens. You go to a restaurant and you're ordering for greens. Greens are very good for our immune system.
That's true.
But this person has been cleaning this green somewhere using water from a stream, a wetland system, but which water is contaminated with all sorts of waste. Some of it might be even human waste. But the person has cleaned and brought to a market somewhere. It has been bought, and now you are eating it.
Unknowingly.
You can't know. You can't know. All this person did was to make sure the greens are appearing clean when you go to buy in the market. So we are contaminating ourselves in the process, becoming unhealthy. Now, with a population that depends, or human being that depends so much on the environment, means if we are unhealthy, we spend other high cost on medical treatment. You are getting cancer, you are getting all sorts of, sometimes it is bacterial infection, this and that, name it, from what we eat and what we breathe in.
And
so
if you talk about bacterial infections, it's quite prevalent lately. Many times you notice that lately, more than ever, people attend hospitals. They go to hospital because they're feeling sick, and the diagnosis is bacterial infection. These are things we never grew up hearing, but you'd wonder why.
Why is
it prevalent now?
Yes.
Yes.
And again, it goes to how we are definitely managing the environment. Because you see, the way God created nature was such that one system or one living thing feeds on another and the other on the other and something like that. But when we pollute, it means a certain other bacteria that maybe combats this one goes missing from the system. And therefore you have more cases of one species surviving more. But also, one thing that is causing that, this bacterial infection, is the way we are feeding, as I told you earlier. And then the other is, with this bacteria, sometimes what people also do, they go, we call it self-medication.
Medication, yes.
Yeah. People are doing all these sorts of things, and the bacteria are becoming more resistant to the medicine that we take. So people should go for the right, prescription and get the treatment. And then the other, still about the bacteria. Because of poor waste management, we are getting, and what is now called as antimicrobial resistance. Though it is bad even to sometimes look at the video people send, but that is what we are all going to be part of eventually. The person has, people say, where is NEMA, where is what? We shouldn't do that. Then the other one is about planting and nurturing trees. I can assure you, the way God created the environment or nature, where there are trees, you find the air there is fresh, the ambience is welcoming, but where there are no trees, the place is hot. Why should we stay in our homesteads and not even plant any tree there to give us the shade that we need? And the fresh air. By the way, one time I went to see a doctor. There was a time I was putting on a little bit more weight, and the doctor told me to do a number of things, do exercise, you know, check on what I'm eating, eat less of these fast foods. But then he said, most important, make sure that you always sit somewhere where there is, have fresh air, even at home. Said, open the windows. If you can plant trees, do that so that you have more fresh air. So fresh air heals. People who stay in places where there are forests, there are trees, they live longer. Because the lungs is not having a lot of work to do to clean all the pollutants and other things, the polluted air that we breathe in. So planting trees, nurturing them, making sure that we benefit from the benefit that the trees provide. Then in the urban centers, let's observe places that have been made to be green. Because you need a cool urban area. But look at the time we had the COVID, and the KCC and other parts of the country, people tried to actually green the urban areas. You saw that those plants survived. But if the human being was then there, they wouldn't. Even right now, after COVID, some areas now in the city, we are beginning to lose grass. We are beginning to lose some of the trees. But if you go to, I think it is Nkrumah Road, they planted trees there. Now you find people already, there's a shade in there, and people enjoy that. So urban areas, most people are coming into them. Let the individuals really help us protect areas that have been planted with this green, that could be green spaces.
Yeah, be preserved.
Be preserved. It enhances the beauty of the city.
Indeed.
Yes.
It starts with an individual, and it starts with you. Do not wait for the government. Do not call into the government, because you are actually the government. We're having a conversation on the role of citizens in enhancing a clean and productive environment. And we're having a conversation with Francis Sabino Ogwal, who is the Senior Manager, Environment Planning and Coordination at the National Environment Management Authority. So far for me, my highlight is the fact that it's an individual. You make the choice and others follow suit by making a choice to follow suit. So if you make the choice to do a right thing, you just never know how many other people are making a choice to do the right thing. So that at the end of the day, our planet is saved because it's where we survive. There's no other place for us to live and survive. 0709 602 592. Now, Francis, we'll still engage the law in regards to implementation, where I think one of the vices that we have in Uganda as a nation is the fact that we pen beautiful laws, but implementation is always a problem. And we find that there's a lot of chaos in how we run and operate in the different spheres and sectors, because implementation is never as tough and as confident as the written laws are. Do you think it's part of the chaos, the cause of the chaos that we see right now with our environment?
I would say that when the Environment Act was passed in 1995, now and again amended later on, NEMA was created with those functions, mandates I've told you, that other agencies will do their work. NEMA will coordinate, supervise, monitor, and so forth. Now, that was the understanding, because it was envisaged that the other entities would have the capacity to do that. But as time has gone by, one of the most critical elements we have is that the capacity of these institutions to do their work is also not to the level that we expect them to be. And so when we do the enforcement, you'll say maybe we have not gone far enough in terms of what you expect, either of NEMA or the agency. There are capacity issues. But government is continuously enhancing capacity of the institution. For example, I'll give you NEMA, the case of NEMA, where we, until recently, NEMA only had about 120, personnel. You tell me, to manage every inch of this country with 120.
Right.
But as I speak now, the number has been increased. We should actually be going to about 413 maybe. But we are now at 200 and about 50 personnel.
Speaking of personnel.
So I wanted to build a case first.
Okay,
so
okay.
When you look at that, even with the creation of that personnel, still we have a challenge. We are the population. We are, how many are we now? 45,
yes.
46, some people say 50, but at least we are there above 45.
Yes.
Now, can NEMA with its 250, the limited personnel in these early ranges, police 45 million people.
Plus Ugandans.
And that is why we go back to the issue of the individual being more, first of being more responsible. You know, enforcement, as people would call it, is very expensive. It would mean NEMA should have like maybe, you're talking about 100,000 or even more personnel enforcement. But that is going to be heavy on the taxpayer as well, in terms of making sure that such high number of people are able to do their work when needed. So the budget is going to go very high in policing the environment. And yet also there are other sectors that needs to be, you know, catered for. You have the roads, you have the health, you have education. But this is where if we all became more responsible, we would actually not need as many, you know, enforcement personnel. So, but the capacity, as I said, the capacity of NEMA is being built. And as I speak now, we are also recruiting our own environment protection force. We have about 40 of them now. But gradually the number should go up to about maybe 2,000 if funds will be available. But soon the number should at least increase to 150. Again, subject to availability of funds. But that is the personnel that we shall deploy, command and control them directly.
Good morning, Uganda. In Mayuge district, the environment officer has connived with companies mining sand in the lake where these machines pour used oil, killing all the aquatics. What is your take on this?
Okay. All these cases keep coming. You hear your entity, this, the other person compromise. For us as NEMA, we would appreciate to get that report.
Right.
And then we take it on from there. Let the person really raise that issue to NEMA. We will get down and see the situation on ground that it is. Because with the environment degradation, it is seen. So even the person who is degrading there, we will get to that person.
Right.
Yeah. But something I wanted to say.
Yes.
Which I wouldn't want to miss.
Yes, please.
The role of the individual. Noise pollution.
Let's talk about this.
Noise. Whether you have started your church, whether you have
disco club.
These clubs, really, noise pollution is going to be very dangerous to human health. But also, noise pollution is going to lead to other people losing business. You have a residential place, somebody comes, starts a church there, or brings a club, a bar, playing music from around 5. What have you up to? Then this person with the prayer is shouting the whole day. You make this person who has invested money and put up a residential place or other business there to lose money, to lose livelihood. But you are getting yours. That is being selfish. The law requires that where you have, as I told you, where you have a right, you have a responsibility. If you think you've taken the church there because you have a land there and the authorities have approved to have a church, please make sure you don't emit noise 24/7. We have other churches. You go to Christ the King, you go to Nakasero, you go to maybe Kampala, the mosque, the Kibuli and others. Really, do you find people making noise 24/7? And therefore the population around there cannot live or sleep.
And I think there are also guidelines on how to regulate
that is what I'm saying.
Soundproof system.
So when we get onto such people, they begin politicizing things. We are after them. They have the right to worship. They have a right to do. You have a right to everything. We are not saying you don't have the right, but not at the expense of others, that they can't sleep.
Yes.
So when you start doing that, we come for you. So people should be mindful that we don't stop them from enjoying their rights, but let the other individual come back from work and sleep, so that the person is more productive the following day. Supposing you, who is saying you want to pray 24/7 making a lot of noise, supposing somebody came and, you know, either brought some substance that gives you great smoke into that building, or poured, I don't know which effluent into that building, would you not run for help?
Frustration, yes.
Would you not? You'd say the other person is infringing on their right to have your active going. So this noise, the noise pollution,
Yes.
it causes a lot of other human health, apart from just that I was talking about. But you can get heart problems, you can get diabetes, you can get pressure. Because the way God made us as human beings, we can't stay active for 24 hours.
Rest is a must.
Rest is a must. After 8 hours or 10, you have to go back and rejuvenate the body. Now you go back and you can't sleep. Tomorrow again, you are back to work. So noise, this is an area that all people around should not allow those who are making noise to, and they keep quiet about it.
Let's talk about the status of public awareness.
Yes.
How much is NEMA doing, or how much has NEMA done to ensure public awareness is taking shape, so much so that even at the grassroots,
yes,
villagers know, village dwellers know that there are things that are not acceptable in our environment, like churches that are not soundproofed in residential areas.
Yeah. So we have got that mandate as well to create public education and awareness, and we have a whole division that does that in NEMA. Now, public awareness has been going on since 1995, when NEMA first came into existence. Even I think maybe earlier than that, it has been going on. We have been doing public awareness. But you see with Ugandans, even those whom you have talked to, and you've educated them, they are still going to do the wrong thing. That is the thing, the paradox that I don't know how to explain it. You have educated the people, they are still doing the wrong thing. But going forward now, we are thinking of the following, and we are already doing it. One, we are targeting the youth and the school children to create that generation that appreciates nature at that level. I was, right from the beginning at that time, I was a member of the wildlife clubs of Uganda, and do something else. But also at the district level, we have got the district environment officers. They are doing their part, they are trying their best to educate the public. But in Uganda, you need to walk the talk, even where you have educated. The other point you raised, enforcement needs to be seen. Somebody will say, okay, they have talked, but suppose I go ahead, what will they do to me? So there is the impunity element that sometimes is really making things look like not changing at all. Awareness creation, we shall continue to have it, but we are going now to begin targeting a certain group with the hope that with the time, we've built in a generation that can better appreciate nature. In fact, for children, when you tell them that please don't throw mineral water bottle here in this meeting or in this gathering, we have put points there for you. You find kids, after drinking that water, they go and
understanding it.
They will even get this empty mineral water bottle and go and put there. But the others will leave it here where they are seated. Now, what is that attitude like? That even the child will do something better than the old person. The other thing I also want Ugandans to do, including you, please educate your children from home to respect the environment, to do the right thing towards the environment. Don't leave it to us, because you spend time with them. At school they are doing that, but even when the kids come, demonstrate to them what it means to have if it is cleaning, clean with them as well, show them what to do, so that they begin appreciating that living in a clean environment requires some level of action. Right. You don't just talk it and expect somebody else to do it. You have to do it yourself. Yes. And personally, at my level, I've done that to my children. If you go to my home, probably you'll wonder whether these people, there's even waste you see around. They will sweep when they're back from school. They will clean, because I one time did that, but now they do it, including cleaning the toilet. Do you know, in most cases, people think it is either the maid to clean the toilet. So for us, we are just going to go there, do whatever in whichever way. No,
which is a myopic mentality at the end of the day.
At home, I demonstrated to my children how to clean the toilet. And I said, when you go there, leave it clean. In fact, use the vim after you've cleaned it, sprinkle the vim around it, disinfect it, and leave it. Because a lot of sickness we get at home comes from there. And now, so there's no, it is ever clean.
Right. Francis, this conversation has to come to a close. And a number of the viewers came through with the topic of the Nachivabo channel that is being constructed on by Hamis Chigundu. And they feel that you haven't mentioned that some other parts of the human activity going on, building, constructing on top of the channel is one of the things that caused the floods to affect businesses. Perhaps in a second or two, could you just point out what you believe objectively to inform, from an informative point of view, to inform the viewers who are very concerned about that?
Well, maybe if our viewers are also following social media, there's a lot of effort now being done to make sure that things are done right there. And one of it, you could have seen KCCA had to stop Hamis, and have given him conditions to follow, to make sure that the flooding will not occur as it is now happening. I think to open some other channels for the floods to flow properly. So there's a lot of effort that is being done to actually address what is happening there. So I would say that let our viewers be patient, and things will change there. I believe it will change.
Your parting shots?
Yeah. My parting shot, let's live in harmony with the nature or the environment. Let's do those things I've pointed out. Let's be aware that the law requires us to take action to live in a clean, healthy environment.
Indeed, and that would be speaking to not all of us, but to you, an individual. Julie, Francis, Godwin, are you one you? Live in a harmony with nature. Up next is JMU Sports with Ruben, and I know he'll be definitely sharing the detail of the good news of the Under-17 World Cup qualifiers where Uganda beat France.
Oh.
Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala.
We have to change the political culture in this country, really. Who has